Congresswoman Maxine Waters of California is back. Not that she ever went anywhere. She recently got into a fight on the floor of the House with Republican Mike Kelly. She said that car dealers are racist. Here's part of it.
I can't believe that in 2018, we're on the floor of Congress seeing the denial of some of my colleagues about discrimination in the auto lending business.
To impugn the integrity of the automobile people is absolutely beyond reproach. And so if you run out of facts, I guess the next thing you have to go to is discrimination.
I am more offended as an African-American woman than you will ever be. And this business about making America great again, it is your president that's dividing this country.
I'm more offended than you'll ever be. Therefore, I win. In the Who's Offended Olympics, Maxine Waters is always a gold medalist. Mark Steyn, an author and columnist and all-purpose genius, joins us tonight, and longtime connoisseur of Maxine Waters. So, to me, what's fascinating is not that Maxine Waters exists, and maybe you kind of want people like Maxine Waters around because it's kind of hilarious, but that she's suddenly become elevated to the status of hero in the Democratic Party. What does that tell us?
Yeah, it's interesting to me that she is not within the Democratic Party as self-evidently ridiculous as the creepy porn lawyer you were talking about, who I think actually he's going to be walking Meghan down the aisle at Windsor Castle on Saturday. Meghan doesn't know it. Meghan doesn't know it, but he's just decided to swing by and do it. He figures it'll work for him. But the interesting thing about Maxine Waters is that this is someone who, for example, she's close friends with Louis Farrakhan, whom we've talked about before, who believes he's taken up in a spacecraft to commune with the ghost of Elijah Muhammad and various other Fruit of Islam space aliens once a month. I don't know whether he takes Maxine up there with him once a month, although it would certainly explain a lot. By the way, I would be in favor of that, because if the space aliens encounter Maxine Waters and think she's a typical Earthling, they will have no plans to come anywhere near this planet. So they would be performing a useful service if they did that. But it is actually extraordinary to me, this. For example, she recently called Trump's hotel in Washington a criminal-looking hotel. This is a woman who lives in a $4 million house, and in that sense sums up what Kanye West was talking about, the whole what have you guys done for me lately? What has mortgaging the entire future of one demographic group to the likes of Maxine Waters actually done for them? And that's a question I think more and more are asking.
So, but for garden variety liberals who in normal times would have a problem with Maxine Waters' ethics and her rhetoric, and she's a Democrat, so they're not going to criticize her in public, but Maxine Waters, please, she's too far. They've woken up in the last year and decided that they really like Maxine Waters, and she speaks for them. Is there nobody on the left who's saying, well, wait a second, that's too far, she's too crazy, but she discredits us? Where are the reasonable voices?
No, I think what's interesting is that she made Time magazine. For anyone who wasn't aware, Time magazine is still out there and still publishing every week. She made Time magazine's list of the 100 most influential people in the world, which is patently absurd. Time magazine, at a certain point, used to pretend to be internationalist, so they'd have put, the deputy fisheries minister of the South Sandwich Islands on the list because he's really making a name for himself as a player in law of the sea negotiations. That's how Time used to be. Instead, they put Maxine Waters on there, who is totally uninfluential, except outside a very tiny coterie of hardcore activists who chant along with her when she says impeach 45, as she did recently at a memorial service. I mean, when they have these organ donor cards saying if I get killed in a fatal road accident, give all my body parts to somebody who needs them. I'm going to carry a Maxine Waters card in my wallet saying that if I get killed, I don't want her chanting impeach 45 at my memorial service. This has no appeal other than beyond a very hardcore coterie. But that coterie is well established in the media, which is why Time magazine made themselves look fools by putting her on this most influential 100 people in the world list.
Trump has driven them insane. It's unbelievable. Let historians mark this moment. Mark Steyn, great to see you, as always.
Thanks a lot, Tucker.